Saturday afternoon. Probably won't stay on here all that long. About an hour. But the emails that I have been getting in the past 24 to 48 hours have been, to say that they've been bizarre is an understatement. And I woke up this morning to go pee, to look at my phone, to realize that they had sent me one of the same people, hey Saki, one of the same people who always sends me emails saying something about the tags on my car. So what I figured they're doing is they're trying to set up this, well, we're just fucking with him on emails. That's what we were doing with Owen. Hey, Sherilyn. That's what we were doing with when Owen died. We were just fucking with him. But that doesn't work. Posting live videos on YouTube as Pootie Twang, one of the very people I was fighting with, is not gonna work. You're not gonna do stupid shit, what, a year later? Not even? I mean, I guess we're a couple months away from still. We're just in January. But saying, oh, well, we did something a year later and it was a joke, so therefore this stuff is a joke. It's not a joke. And who am I facing? Take a look at the description. Go watch that link. It's a Vice news article. Simple news Vice. You know? Just go watch it. Because I'm sick of those threats too. I'm sick of it. I'm sick to death of dealing with it. But you know, my focus isn't on them. My focus is on my town and my sheriff. That's what my focus is on. Because that is the weakest link to all of this. The Erling, Iowa gas station explosion. It's easy enough to prove. You just have to compare the official report to the news report that went on that night. KETV. KETV.com. Simply type in KETV, Erling, Iowa gas station explosion. EARLING. Simple. Compare the two. Compare what was said in the official report and compare what was said that day when it happened. Simple comparison. Owen. Go look. I didn't post that, but I will go post. See, the thing about it is that I don't need the FOIA thing. There's a video of the second explosion, and there were no cops around. Erling, Iowa doesn't have any cops, and the sheriffs weren't in town when it happened. There was only 9.5 minutes between the two explosions. And Erling is 500 people, there's no cops. But you can go see someone in town, they were taking a video because the smoke was rising from the first explosion, and they just happened to catch the second explosion on video. And that's all on video. You know? That's all on video. It's easy enough to prove. They are on top of me. They are on top of me. My life is a fucking misery with these motherfuckers right now. Anybody who can donate, I hate to be a beggar, but at this point in time in my life, this morning I actually considered making a cardboard sign, driving down to Omaha and going and standing on a street corner, you know? So, Oh, and they're already in here. I would be willing to bet that Monsieur Wumble is Geo. The whole thing about it is that they're being protected. They're protected. They're protected. You want to know why they're protected? Go look at the link I put in the description. You know? And what does this all have to deal with? QAnon. You know? Which was a Michael Aquino CIA construct. Just like Pizzagate. It was meant to do the same thing that the McMartin preschool trial did in the 80s. You know? Same thing. Their games don't change. And now all of this stuff is coming out in Hollywood, and coincidentally, now all of LA is on fire. Wow, what a coincidence. You know, who the fuck would have seen that coming? And they can say whatever they want, but they've already arrested 2 people who were committing arson. You know? And then I just got an email. Some of you are on my email exchange. I just share everything because I have lists of people that I send that shit out to. So some of you just saw what I was sent this morning. You know? Bizarro shit. I feel like I am living in an insane asylum. That I'm dealing with people who are just not stable. That's an understatement. They're not stable. And they'll do all this weird ass shit and then say that I was the one who is behind. It's my fault. Like I can control, these people can't even control themselves. But I'm the bad one because I can't control them. You know? It's really sad, you know? And I don't find child trafficking funny. I don't find it amusing. I don't find anything amusing about it. Nothing is amusing about it to me. But I'm not going to stop. They're not going to stop, so why should I stop? You know? They're not going to stop. It's constant. Constant. Over and over and over. And all I have to say, Neil Gross, Shelby County, Iowa Sheriff, obviously doesn't want to use that program. But there are people on my email list that I know have to have access to that program. And they need to find out who's sending those emails because it's all them. You know? Shadow Dragon. It was designed to investigate and bust out child trafficking. Who is sending all those emails? And the thing I got last night about my car had the whole long list of a bunch of them. There's a bunch of them for you guys to check. Neil Gross ain't gonna do shit. My sheriff ain't gonna do shit. If they have a complaint about me, oh, he'll send a deputy right to my fucking house. But you can murder my friends, you can blow shit up around me, and Neil Gross will protect them. That's how this works. And the proof is obvious. It's obvious, you know? And they all work as a group. They all work as a group. It's called controlled opposition. They all work as a group. This is what made Isaac Cappy hide in his bedroom in the end. They have done this to so many people. It's just, I was trained as a child. So it doesn't make me want to run away. It pisses me off and it makes me want to fight it. Because I was told to sink my teeth into something and not let it go until it was dead. And that is exactly what I have done with this. That's why I wrote a book. If anybody you don't even have to donate to me. Just buy a book, $30. $30. 30 bucks. I don't have any gas. I have no gas in my car. It's the 11th today, and I'm completely flat ass broke. Some people have helped. I had someone, you know who you are, that just donated $50, and I was actually able to buy the shit for my dogs. Saved my ass, And so, oh yeah. Well, when it comes down to it, I've never been asleep. I have been awake my whole fucking life. And there's no one out there that is more awake than I am. And all this woke bullshit that they focus on is bullshit. All this stupid shit that doesn't make a fucking bit of difference in any of our lives. If someone wants to have a sex change, what the fuck does it do to any of you? To any of us? If gay people want to get married, what does it do? Nothing. It affects you not at all. Woke originally meant being woke. Exactly. It's smoke up our asses. They want to do anything they can to distract from the child trafficking. And again, what is this all involved with? Go watch the Vice interview. QAnon. Fucking dumbest. The last thing I heard about QAnon was they were down in Texas drinking bleach to stave off COVID. And I'm tired of the threats. I'm tired of it constantly. There are people in here now that are starting to get those emails because I'm starting to just send them out to everyone. So you can see what I'm being inundated with. And it's not even coming to them and they're overwhelmed with it. So I'm just, it is. I have 3 or 4 email chains. I have people I send shit to. I have official people and then just people, because I'm hoping that those people share the shit too. Send it off to your local law officials. Send it off to your local, I can't do this alone. We all have to work together. And I know we all care about child trafficking and we don't want child trafficking happening, But now, it's just amazing how all of the evidence is burning down, along with all of LA, And it was predicted by The Simpsons, Simpsons isn't predicting shit. It's called programming. Unless you think that the people from Simpsons are fucking so great of oracles that they're better than Nostradamus. Pray for Los Angeles. Los Angeles, I think, for a lot of people is starting to become like what happened when the Twin Towers collapsed. Remember when the Twin Towers collapsed and people just kept watching that shit over and over and over because it was so overwhelming. It was unlike anything we had ever experienced. And so I was laying in bed yesterday watching the shit, just sobbing because they had 80 and 90-year-old people who now have to start their whole lives over again. Could you start your life all over at 80 or 90 years old? That's just it. People who think that The Simpsons are just coincidentally foretelling their plans are idiots. It's called programming. I am an American. It's 100% intentional. That's their game. Another example, that Illuminati card game. Published in the 80s, revised in 92, has a card that shows the Twin Towers getting hit and the Pentagon getting hit. You know? And the only way to stop it is for all of us to take a stand. Because they think they can just get away with anything. My sheriff, Shelby County, Iowa Sheriff, Neil Gross, is a perfect example of that. But before I forget, this is my book. It's $30. I'm in desperate need of gas. I'm in desperate need of cash. PayPal, Venmo, D. Shurter. It's just my first initial Shurter. And any donations that anybody could help, and I hate to frickin' ask because so many people, especially like in LA, needed so much. They at least I'm not having to start over and I'm 90 years old, you know? And but I am fighting this, and I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna stop, despite the threats. And there are people in here who know, because they've told me, they seem desperate. All of their shit seems desperate, and it's constant. It's constant. It never stops. I have sold plasma before. The issue that I have with selling plasma right now is that they are hitting me so hard with that directed energy weapon. I just woke up from a nap probably an hour ago, and I'm not kidding you. I opened my eyes, and the room was fucking spinning. I thought I had had a stroke. I had to get out of bed and support myself on the wall to get it to calm down. I think what's happening in the Gaza is wrong. I think what's happening in the Gaza is wrong, just like I think what's happening in the Ukraine is wrong. I think what's happened in the Congo is wrong. I think there's all kinds of shit. All of it is wrong. Murdering people so you can take their shit is wrong. That's why I came on here. Because I figured, fuck, if they're gonna make me have a stroke with that directed energy weapon, I'm gonna do it on a goddamn live. You know, you can all watch. But I'm afraid if I go give plasma, that has an effect on your body. And I'm afraid I'm gonna go there and have a stroke. You know? I gave plasma. For 2 years, I gave plasma. Yes, the cash, you don't get a whole lot of cash anyway. Not around here. You know, $35, $40 usually is the most you can get. And it cost me $25 to drive down there to do it. You know? Crackheads give blood, yeah? That's why I used to never give plasma, because I was under the impression that only meth heads gave plasma. You know? The UK, you have it as much as we do. You have it as bad as we do. So does Australia. Has it as bad. This child trafficking. In the 80s, when it came out the first time, it came out in the United States and the UK and Australia all at the same time. All the victims were saying the same shit, claiming the same people were involved, and there was no internet. There was no internet. So unless this mass hysteria was airborne, obviously there was a problem. You know, United States used McMartin, and now they've used Pizzagate and QAnon. You start to talk about all of the child trafficking, and people will immediately associate you with QAnon. QAnon is meant to actually discredit anyone who's connected to QAnon, you know? Are they still waiting for JFK Jr. to resurrect himself and join Trump? Is that still a thing? Because that was a big thing in QAnon. All the crazy shit of QAnon was done on purpose. The UK, perfect example. The Hampstead case. The only real thing about the Hampstead case were those two kids. But both sides. And guess what? The good guys on the Hampstead case are directly connected to the Dead Isaac Cappy Club. They all work together. And I know they all work together because they all attack me together. Abe, Abe, who works with the porn actress, they're all connected. But in UK, if you were serious about actually busting the child trafficking, you'd look at that Shirley Oaks group home. That's who you'd look at. If you really wanted, Aquino is alive. Aquino is alive. How the fuck do you commit suicide twice, 3 years apart? And the first time he committed suicide, I found out about it because people from Temple of Set inundated me demanding that I apologize to Lilith, which of course was never going to happen. So I just assumed he was dead. Do you want to know what happened? The same time Michael Aquino committed suicide, my sister started running around telling everybody that my stepmother was dead. The exact same time. And then 3 years later, two things happen. Michael Aquino commits suicide again. So what? He commits suicide, resurrects himself, and then 3 years later decides that he got it right the first time and commits suicide? They're in here. I don't know if Epstein is still alive. That I don't know. But I know my stepmother isn't dead. I ran into her face to face at the exact same time that Michael Aquino supposedly committed suicide again. Anybody who, and I'm not poo-pooing suicide. If you're facing if you seek help, friends, therapists, call the suicide hotline. Don't commit suicide. We're not supposed to murder, and that most especially includes ourselves. And let me tell you something about suicide. I tried when I was getting a divorce. I was in the throes of my divorce, and I figured my life was over. And afterwards, I ended up signing myself into a hospital and staying there for a week to try and get over it. I think Johnny Gosch's father had something to do with it. I think his mother, Noreen Gosch, is the gatekeeper, who's been involved with this for 40 years, and she has more than enough information. She knows about the Acquasino brothers. She knows that Sam Soda, who she's gone on and on and on about how he was involved, he worked right across the street at a bar called the Stage Door from the Omaha Downtown Police Station, where Robert Wadman worked as chief of police. Robert Wadman, who Alicia Owen went to jail for, even though she was carrying Robert Wadman's baby and she was 15 years old. But all of that is okay. Johnny Gosch is the first milk carton boy ever. He was the first, him and I think, Eugene Martin? Noreen accuses everybody. Noreen, when I first got involved with this and I was trying to investigate, this Rachel person got me to come to this franklinfiles.net. And so I went on there, and it was all things about the abduction of Johnny Gosch. And Noreen Gosch did exactly what they always do. She befriended me and was pumping as much sunshine up my ass as she could. She even met me at the Saigon restaurant with John DeCamp and her weird ass, I don't know if he was a boyfriend or not. We all met. But then the minute that it turned around, what's the best way to get proof of the second explosion? I have the recording. It's on my blog. It's on this channel. It's on this channel. I'll go and find it again because I stole it from the person who posted it. You know, it's on there. Just go on to YouTube and type Earling, Iowa gas station explosion. The second explosion will come up. That explosion that happens, where do you think all that smoke is coming from before with the fireball coming up, you know? No, I am not a conspiracy theorist. Conspiracy theorist, again, is a CIA construct. Conspiracy theorists came out of the JFK shooting. Anybody who questioned the JFK shooting was a conspiracy theorist. It's all CIA. What was QAnon? CIA. What was Pizzagate? CIA. Who was Michael Aquino? Involved with the CIA. Who did Shane Bugbee, co-founder of the Satanic Temple, come out and say that Lucian Greaves was involved with? The CIA. That's why he quit the Satanic Temple. Because he said Lucian Greaves was working. Well, then go away. Because QAnon is bullshit. It's CIA. It was meant to distract and discombobulate from the child trafficking. So if you can't figure that out, oh my God, they're just in here. The thing about it is that they're in here because they want to close me down. They want to close me down. They want to shut me up in the worst way. But again, my focus is on my sheriff. And now, since the fire marshal just came in and tried to poison my dogs, his ass is on my radar as well. And the funny thing about it is, the cop that they sent, he was just this young kid in his 20s, seemed like a good enough kid. And I don't know who Anna K. Lucas is. And I don't know, Gov, the video ID. It might be. It might be. There's only one video out there, and it shows the second explosion. And if you go watch the KETV news report, the owner of the gas station, Dan, who was in the gas station when the first explosion happens, goes on and says, I got out of the gas station, I went back in the gas station, I got my brother-in-law, we both got out, and the second explosion leveled the place. You know? So how did the owner of the gas station who was in there able to go in and out if there was one explosion that leveled the place? Impossible. You know? I don't check with people. Yeah. Hawaii 2.0. I'm not into conspiracies. I really don't know. I don't know about Hawaii. But the first thing I thought of when the LA shit started, because it started up in the mountains and came down. It didn't go up. The fire hasn't worked normal. It's unprecedented the way it's been working. And the first thought I had was, oh, they're just burning up the evidence. You know, just burning up the evidence. Whose house burns down? Tom Hanks. Wow. What a coincidence that is. I haven't heard if P. Diddy's house is burned down. I would bet that it already has. Just saying. Just a guess. You know? Again, anybody who wants to donate, because this is a full-time job. There are people in here who have actually started getting the emails, and they realize, they can see, I can get 50 emails in one day and have to deal with them. It's a full-time job. That's the reason why they're so pissed off at me. Well, go ahead and be proud. But I do have a book, wrote it. I have a blog. It's justmyname.com. You know, you can go read on my blog. I started that in 2011, trying to get my blog done. Since I've had to deal with the Dead Isaac Cappy Club, they came in and murdered my friend. Posted all kinds of live videos all over YouTube on their station, you know. That's the reason why. If there's only one, why so much smoke before? Why were they filming that area? That's the whole thing. What, they were filming the sky and they just happened to catch the explosion? You know? And again, compare that to the KETV news report. If there was only one explosion and it leveled the place and there were 2 people in the gas station, how the fuck did they get out? And Dan obviously wasn't even hurt because he was on the KETV news report that night. You know? I've never read Chaos by Tom O'Neill. People know about it. People know about it. Paul Bonacci was fake. Fake. I had to deal with him on Franklin Files as well. Fake. Fake. We know so much more about dissociative identity disorder, which is multiple personality. We know so much more about it. Now go back. Now that we know what we know and how it works, go watch his shit with fucking Ted Gunderson, who I also was involved with. You know? His shit was primal fear and not even that good. And now he works for all the people who supposedly abused him. But again, Noreen Gosh could bust the shit open. My dad called Noreen Gosh and admitted he was involved. And do you know how I know that? Because Noreen Gosh told me herself. I know exactly. My dad is involved. They're in here. They don't want anyone to know. They don't want anyone to think. You know, they don't want anyone to think about it. And they're in here just, I'm just gonna keep blocking them, which is fine because they have 50 or 80 or 1,000 or 1,000,000 other accounts. They consider themselves legion. They can be whoever they want on the internet. They're in everybody and everyone, you know? Well, I tell you what, Gov. Send me all the shit that you think I should have and I'll repost that video. Because it's not like I don't have the video. I'll repost it. You know? I'll repost it with the link to the KETV news report. You know? It's not like the shit's not on my blog. You know? And Earling, Iowa only had one gas station. It's only 500 people. It was the only thing in, other than bars. It was the only thing in Earling, Iowa. You know? Send it. Send me all the information I should put. I'll post it. I'll repost it. I'll repost it. It's not like I don't have that. You can compare the official report to the KETV news report. You know? And I am fighting people that people in the CIA are afraid of. You know? That's the reason why I live in San Diego. We don't get Santa Ana winds in freaking January. That's why I'm saying this is God. The stuff that's going on, they probably started it. Troy Bonner was a bear boy. Troy Bonner worked for Alan Bear. Troy Bonner and I knew each other and hated each other because he was a fucking liar. If he told you that it was sunny outside, you better expect a fucking hurricane. The dude, but if you go listen to my interview with Michael Brunell, which is also on this station, he was sitting right beside Troy Bonner's brother when they shot Troy Bonner's brother in the head. You can go listen to that interview because I interviewed him. I started interviewing everybody and everything. At the very beginning, I thought I was so naive. I thought because of who I am and what I knew and my family, I could just come out and just bust this shit out in the open. Boy, I don't think Tom Hanks' house survived. I think it burned down. That's what I've watched, but who knows? You know? I think that they murdered Troy Bonner because Troy Bonner couldn't keep his mouth shut. He was all over the place. Troy Bonner couldn't keep his mouth shut. That's why they got rid of him. Okay, Gov, I don't have a clue how to hook anything up to any algorithm. I am not technologically advanced. I think that God is dealing with a lot of it. This time is with fire, not water. And fucking shit is burning down, left and right. Now all of Southern California is on fire, and those fires aren't even contained yet. The shit isn't even over, you know? Send it to me in an email. David@davidshurter.com is the best way to get a hold of me. It would be nice to have a normal email rather than all this bullshit that I have to deal with constantly. Because it is constant. It is constant. It never stops. You know, if I was so crazy or I was such a liar, why are they fighting me so hard? You know? Why are they fighting me so hard? As a whole army of them. There's a whole army of them. You know? They're doing it because I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth. Isaac Cappy was definitely real. The reason why Isaac Cappy was, all of his friends were fucking criminals. The sewer town bullshit was all his fucking criminal friends. All of them. Isaac Cappy went down to Australia and got involved with blood diamond traffickers. That's what Ella High Priest was involved with. You know? And I know that because I was listening to it on the phone when Fiona was calling me. Fiona Barnett, when Isaac Cappy was down there. And now I'm dealing with a dude that's completely connected to the Slime King who's now threatening me, and he's from Australia. Over Isaac Cappy. But what got Isaac Cappy murdered was because he was trying to investigate that homeless camp in Arizona. That's what got him busted. Because that homeless camp had shackles riveted into the trees that were child size. So they were obviously shackling children to trees in that homeless camp. Why? You know, why? Why are you shackling kids to trees in homeless camps? And it's easy to figure out where that was because Craig Sawyer and Russ Dizdar went all over national news as the heroes. They were going to expose that homeless camp and the child trafficking there. You know? Oh, dude. See, he's not conspiracy theorist, but he says the CIA's out to get them. I have a long history of having to battle Lucian Greaves. An open history. I'm not the one who said he was connected to the CIA. That was Shane Bugbee, the one who actually was working with him. I'm not the one who filmed the Vice thing that I have in the title. I'm not part of that. I just posted it because I found it on YouTube and thought everyone might want to see it. I'm not part of that. You know? So you go discredit me all you want. But then I would run around and tell Shane Bugbee and go tell Vice that they're full of shit. Robert Steele, he's full of shit. You know? What it is to discredit victims. Because the shit happens out in the fucking open. And then if anybody says anything, there's an army of them that come forward and say, oh, well, they're just crazy. They're conspiracy theorists. But it's all out in the open. Who else can blow up a goddamn gas station and lie about it? Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Addison Mahan. Because I'm not dealing with it. Who else can blow up a goddamn gas station and get everyone to lie about it? You know? And they come in here all anonymous. They come in here and anonymous, make insults, and then figure that everybody respects them more than they respect what I'm saying. But I'm a published author who got nominated for Book of the Year. Book of the Year. You're right. I'm a crazy, because that's what crazy people do, right? They write books that get nominated for Book of the Year. That's how it works, isn't it? Anybody who speaks the truth, they're going to come at. And they always come at with these anonymous accounts. They're childish. Yes, they are. They are. And they think that everybody respects them so much more than the victims. What was Isaac Cappy trying to investigate before he ended up murdered? Child trafficking. Who was Max Spears trying to expose before they murdered him? Michael Aquino. Michael Aquino, who was his handler as a kid. Michael Aquino, who was my handler when I was a kid, with all the shit that was going on in Omaha, Nebraska, with Franklin Credit. All the shit that was going on in Hummel Park. All the shit that was going on in Offutt Air Force Base. All the cocaine that was being shipped in from the Contras. All of that. It's all connected. And anybody who actually starts talking about the truth gets attacked by an army of them. They are invested in making sure that nobody even considers the shit. Boys Town was connected. Boys Town was taking boys every Saturday and shipping them down to the old market, which is where all the child abduction bullshit was going on. They have everybody focused on Johnny Gosch. Johnny Gosch was abducted in West Des Moines, another state, another town. If they really wanted to know about the child trafficking that was happening in the old market, they would have focused on Todd Beckett. That's who they would have focused on. But they focused on Johnny Gosch instead of Todd Beckett, the same way the UK focused on the Hampstead case instead of Shirley Oaks Group Home. You know? Oh my God, they're in here like an army of them. They're just an army of them. I'm a serial killer because they can look at my face. You know, there's just an army of them in here. And they just want to shut everyone down. That's how it works. They want to shut everyone down. And what I really like is that people who watch this shit will be able to see all of the stuff. You know? They'll be able to see the stuff. Queen's Alchemy, James Ortega, all fake names. all part of, Johnny Gosch was murdered the minute he became a national known boy. Why do you think they would risk such an operation on one boy? And know that Gannon, that was his name, Gannon? He was not Johnny Gosch. There's a simple question. Noreen Gosch says that her son came and saw her at 27 years old. Then Jeff Gannon comes out and everyone starts saying that he's Johnny Gosch. So I guess the question is, was Jeff Gannon the one who went to go visit Noreen Gosch when he was 27 years old? It's a simple fucking question. Never been answered yet. There's a lot of people who know what I'm talking about. Johnny Gosch was the first milk carton kid. A lot of people know who I am. A lot of people know what I've been doing. But again, they'll do anything they can to discredit me. They'll do anything they can to minimize me. They tell me that this channel doesn't make any difference, that I'm not making any difference, and yet they go out of their way to try and get it taken down over and over and over and over. I'm trying to bust a child trafficking ring, and I think that everything that I'm talking about needs to be investigated, and these people need to go to jail. The sewer town people, the Dead Isaac Cappy Club, all kinds of shit. Well, I tell you what, channel is worst one on YouTube. How about I just block your ass, then you can go away. Oh my God, child trafficking does not exist only in the movies. So your ignorant, dumbass opinion, Billy Joe, oh my God, these people are just... And this is the kind of shit I have to deal with every day. When I'm not doing these, it's in my emails. They just posted my address again in an email. Posted it. It's not like they haven't doxed me, It isn't like they don't just do shit to me constantly. Fuck, they're right next door. They're right next door. I can talk about my friend being murdered and the gas station explosion. My sheriff, Shelby County, Iowa Sheriff Neil Gross, does nothing. But they make a complaint about a broken fire alarm last week that I put in my backyard because I didn't know what to do with it. And he sent a cop over to my house right away for that. I called the fire department because their shit's making me sick. I look in, that alarm went off. I thought it was a carbon monoxide thing. And what ends up happening? The fire department throws the silicone packets on the floor, and one of my dogs ate one. Thank God they threw it up. My utility company, my bills keep going up. The family beside me pays a little over $200 a month. It's just me in this house. My bill last month was $377, and I get a disconnect notice every fucking month. And this month, I got a disconnect notice over a bill I paid a week before. I have a lot of shit. Go on my blog. I have their own shit. I take screenshots of their own shit. Am I gonna spoon feed it to you even though you don't want to believe it? Not a fucking chance. Don't give a fucking difference if you believe it or not. Oh my God, these people are just, and they're inundated here because because they go on Reddit. They've gone on Reddit. There's all kinds of proof that's going on. There's all kinds of proof. I don't send it to them because then they just go out of their way to try and erase it. Like the Erling, Iowa gas station explosion. Yeah. Oh my God. I think Podesta was involved. I think the Republicans are involved, but I also think the Democrats are involved. I'm not angry with my viewers at all. You come in here and start all kinds of stupid shit, and then you want to make yourself out to be a fucking victim. Go fuck yourself. You know, you want to start shit, Mama Tony. Again, they're all anonymous accounts. And again, why bother? You don't have a life, you know? They don't have a life. And they're expecting that they won. They're expecting that they won. They're so certain that they've won. They have everything in the bag. They're so certain of it. And I don't think so. Why would they be fighting so hard if they had everything in the bag, you know? Podesta is a creep. Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, all of Jeffrey Epstein's friends, you know? And then they come on and then they support each other. That's the whole thing. It's just a game. I'm not mad at it. The whole thing about it is that there's a group of you on here. I'm not upset with you. But the child traffickers that are in here trying to steamroll over me on my live, they're the ones that I'm actually arguing with. They're the ones that irritate the shit out of me. And they're all anonymous accounts. They're all anonymous accounts. And so, and I don't have time for it. I don't have time for it. They're amused by their stupid bullshit. I'm not, you know? Well, everyone is 20 years older. You know, Carter's funeral, yeah, the aging happens that way. And, you know, oh, Jesus. It just gets to be too much. It just gets to be too much. And again, all of these anonymous accounts that want to discredit me, you know, it was, you know, oh, it was only 6 years. I didn't realize that. I didn't watch either one. Obviously, I hated George Bush Sr. He was in Hummel Park when I was a kid. Hated him. I didn't watch the thing with Jimmy Carter just because Jimmy Carter was a decent dude. You know, sucked as president, but as a guy, as a dude, he was building houses for poor people. You know? There's no deficiency in women's minds. And the incels that are in here that actually are discrediting women, you know? Of course you have to discredit women because you're a fucking piece of shit, you know? And so, oh God, I'm going to pray and then I'm going to get off here because I'm just, there's an army of them coming in here. What I have a feeling of doing is that they're just going in and signing into different accounts. The more I block them, the more they sign in, you know? And the issue is that things are heating up, especially in where I'm at. Things are starting to heat up. People are starting to get way more involved now than they ever were before. Hey, Kate, thank you. You know, I'm not cutting my hair. And if you don't like my hair, I'll just block you. It's a simple solution. You should have enough restraint if you don't like something to go to something else. You know? The child trafficking, you know, it's Russia that's actually doing the child trafficking. It wasn't doing, if it was in Ukraine, it was because it was being directed. Who were all involved with Jeffrey Epstein? Who was best friends with Jeffrey Epstein? I'm not angry. Oh my God. The whole thing about it is that when it comes down to it, I'm so sick of these people trying to actually put it off on me. And again, they're always anonymous accounts. And they come in here simply to try and discredit. You know, they don't like what they hear, and so they go out of their way to try and discredit it. The Dead Isaac Cappy Club is in here, you know? And what are they all connected with? It's not hard to figure it out. You know? What was Isaac Cappy trying to expose before he ended up dead? It's not hard to figure out, you know? But they don't want anybody to focus on that. I did hear that the Kardashians' house burned down. They're burning down all the evidence, you know? P. Diddy is busted for Hollywood. And what was Isaac Cappy trying to bust? The Hollywood connection of this child trafficking bullshit. All in Hollywood. And now, what's burning down? All of Hollywood. You know? Oh, great, you came back on another account. You realize that it's just, you'll behave yourself, or I'll just do what I always do. I love this block feature. I love this block feature. Because I can keep talking and it at least takes you a minute to actually have to sign into yet another one of your million accounts. You know? It's so pathetic and it's so out in the open. People are watching. No. What's burning down is not good, you know? I am getting very good at blocking. This channel is not a relationship channel. I'm not going to give you relationship advice, you know? Oh my God. They're just, and they're so sexualized. Isn't that... They're involved with kids, and yet this group is just, oh yeah, I can. Yes, I can. It is creepy. They are so sexualized. They are so sexualized, and they say, and the fact that they're on platforms with kids, and they're so sexualized is just bizarre. I haven't gotten any smoke from Cali, but I'm in Iowa, you know? But, and they just keep coming back over and over and over. And they think they're doing something that's amazing. Like they're actually proving their point or something, you know? And they're not proving any point. You're proving that you're an idiot, you know? That's obsessed. You seem obsessed. It does seem automated. It's constant. It's constant, you know? They don't want anyone investigating. And I'm not, all I'm asking for is to law officials to actually look into this. For those of you out there who are involved with it, I ask that you like and share. And I mean, not just share on here. I'm saying you will probably think of law officials that I haven't thought of. You will think of people in the media that I haven't thought of. It's not like you know, and so I'm going, well, dude, okay, great. Bye-bye. The difference between being real and not real is that this is my venue, you know? And I can pick and choose who's on my venue. And you can whine like a little bitch all you want. It doesn't affect me at all, you know? I don't owe these bots anything. Well, I'll take a screenshot of that, dumbass. And then I'll block your ass. Elefantis, isn't he involved with Podesta? They're all involved. And Comet Pizza and Pizzagate was set up. And Comet Pizza was set up. And it was set up the same, because Pizzagate just didn't work. That's why I went to QAnon. Because they thought that they could actually make it so crazy that people would just discredit it. You know, it's not okay for any kids to be trafficked. 0. It is better to hang a millstone around your neck and drown yourself than hurt a child. But they don't believe in God. You know, America. I'm in the U.S. I'm going to pray, because this is just getting to be too much. I'm just watching all kinds of bullshit, and I'm having to block everything, and it's just, you know, they are like a nightmare. Alphonsus Instagram posts, all of that shit was a nightmare. And that's why it came out, because they needed to discredit it. They needed to discredit it. And that's why they did it. And, oh, jeez Louise. And again, there's an army of them on here. Why would they be on here? If I was just some crazy person talking, why wouldn't they just make a comment and then go away? But I block them, and they have to come back constantly, and they're all anonymous. You know, they're all anonymous. You all know who I am. I'm sitting right here. I've written a book. My name is all over the shit. You know who I am. They come in anonymously and actually think that all of you are so stupid that you think that those anonymous accounts are much more, and this dude just keeps coming back in different names. A few have many accounts. They're not legion. Exactly. They're not legion. Exactly. Do they have 50? They just keep coming back over and over and over and over. I like doing these things because then all you get to see it. You get to see what I deal with on a continuous basis. Only I get to have to deal with it on my emails and my texts and my phone messages. I've let my phone messages fill up so they can't leave me any more messages anymore. You know? I actually would love to come to India sometime. Gub says, I'm from the moon. I just got here. Why are you so mad? The reason why you're not reading any hatred comments is because I'm blocking every single one of them. As they come up, I'm just blocking them. You know? I don't know. Are they supported by the government? I don't know. I've been fighting Lucian Greaves, and Lucian Greaves in the Satanic Temple and all of his satanic after-school daycare bullshit. That's how they're targeting the kids, is that after-school daycare bullshit that's popping up everywhere in the nation. Everywhere. You know? Nope. 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 Gonna get them all. And why would I just deal with one when the leader is the one I'm focused on? Trump won't help. Trump was president for 4 years. Didn't help worth a shit. And it's not like I didn't reach out. You know? Ain't gonna do shit. We're too busy planning on going to war with Canada and Greenland and Panama. You know? They ain't gonna help kids. Well, it doesn't have anything to do. You know, They keep doing it because you put so much into effort and blocking and all your focus is on them. My focus is on this child trafficking ring, and that's who they're involved with. That's what they're involved with. That's the reason why they are trying to get, that's why they're in here, trying to distract. I don't know much about India, and I don't know much about India's politics. And you just have to go to my blog and read, go up to the pages above. It says the extended version of Rabbit Hole, Confessions of an Antichrist. And go read the chapter that I entitled Obama-ha. When Obama came to Omaha and they called Omaha Obama-ha for the day. Go read that and you'll figure out exactly how I feel about Obama. You know, the best thing about Obama not being president is now I can say that I don't like him for reasons that has nothing to do with his skin color, and I don't get called racist anymore. You know, who's the right people to help? If you can figure that out, please tell me. I've reached out to so many people. If you could figure out who the right people are. Exactly. It doesn't matter if it's the Trump, Biden, Kamala, Obama, or Bush. The system will always be the same. It's the system we're fighting. And they're all involved. They wouldn't be involved. Thank you, Gov, for reporting that for child abuse. I should just allow them in here and go on, but if I do, then they'll dominate the conversation. And I get irritated being dominated because it's distracting. That's the reason why I block them, because I just don't want to be distracted. So what do you want? I want this child trafficking shit to be investigated. Oh, dude, snitch? I have a big, proud, red, flashing sign over my head that says fucking narc. Proudly. You don't want to rob a bank or murder someone and then show up at my house. Because I will narc your ass out. I don't play crime. Don't like people who are criminals. Don't play with criminals. I've told all my friends, you murder someone and show up at my door, oh, I'll be nice to you till the minute I can get away from you. And then have no doubt, I'll turn your ass in. Because that's how I work. Always have. I didn't vote for Trump. Never voted for Trump. His daddy was in Hummel Park killing kids. I didn't vote for Trump. Hated his dad. Mean-ass Nazi pedophile. Didn't like Fred Trump at all and knew him as a child. Anton Scalia. Meanest fucking pedophile and liked boys. You know? I never said I voted for Trump. I do come off probably a little bit crazy. I do, probably. You go through what I go through, Gov, and see how well your sensibles are at. You know? See how well you respond to it. They blow up a gas station. They murder my friend. They just came in and tried to poison my fucking dogs. Yeah, I shouldn't have any problem. You know? Do I look like I'm from Pakistan? You know? The shit gets irritating. Not to mention, I get inundated with fucking threats through my emails all day long. Every day. You know? Every day. Well, try an army of fucking child traffickers who are trying to shut you up. You know? How crazy did Isaac seem in the end? How crazy did Max Spears seem when he was in the end? They stalk and harass constantly. Fuck They dance around. The dickheads in my neighborhood who are involved go out of their way to dance around in front of me. The people that are fighting me, Michael Aquino is not a Satanist. He's a Luciferian. The dickheads that were in Hummel Park when I was a kid, they weren't Satanists. They were Luciferians. Luciferians believe in the Antichrist. That's the difference between a Luciferian and a Satanist. You know, you should probably just stop talking about child trafficking and move on to something else. Like what, Gov? What would make everybody's panties less in a twist? Should I talk about butterflies and rainbows and sprinkles falling from the sky? Because that's what ends up happening. Everyone wants to be complacent. And they want to be rewarded for that complacency. You know? This is not the real Gov. And I hope it's not, because you just got yourself blocked. That cannot be the right Gov. Okay. I knew it wasn't you, Gov. Because that's what they do. They have nothing better to do. You know? I wondered why this conversation just went exactly, Katie. Woo! You know? They'll start imitating everybody. I'm surprised they don't come in here with my name and start imitating me in the conversation. You know? It's them. It's them. I'm spiritual. I'm not religious. Don't go to church. But if you want to know how to fill your hearts with love and live the word, Jesus Christ is the way to find out. Speaking of, I need to pray. Thank you for reminding me of that, because I do pray. So, yeah, have you listened to, before I do that, Epstein stuff was wild. Have you heard the new tapes that they're releasing of Jeffrey Epstein talking about Trump and how he was Trump's best friend? And that's all on, that's Epstein. It's Epstein, they just released it, you know? But any other felon that got convicted of 34 convictions in a court of law by their peers would have gone to jail, would have fucking suffered some sort of consequence. You know? But it's not fake. They're all over. You know? Not to mention all of the pictures and videos of him with Epstein. You know? It's Donald Trump is doing his daddy's. This is the shit that we're going on. This fascist fucking bullshit was his daddy. It was his daddy. Well, I'm not a Biden. Oh my God, their arguments are so stupid. There is so much public stuff and they don't look at it because they're ignorant. They want to know, they only want to see where they want to see. And if they hear anything, Fred Trump was murdering kids in Hummel Park when I was a kid. He was murdering kids in Hummel Park. Fred Trump, along with George Bush Sr., who was also there, and Alan Baer, and Michael Aquino, and a whole list of other people that were involved. You know? It's not like I'm saying this for the first time, you know? It's not like I'm saying it for the first time. Dude, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm just not going to argue. You know? I'm just not going to argue. I got to pray. Heaven, we come to you as your children. We ask that you fill our hearts with love and help direct us to whatever we need to do to make this life a better place. And I say that as individuals, not as a collective. Please open our hearts so that each one of us knows what to do on an individual basis on how to serve heaven best. And we know because you sent your Son, our brother, Jesus Christ, who taught us all about the Word and how to fill our hearts with love and how to live. The people that are filled with hate and derision and anger, who think themselves so much superior to their brother, let them be claimed by the dark. Bring an end to this child trafficking. Expose it. Expose it. So that everyone can see honestly, you know? Let Gov have a great day at the gym. And let everyone know that I thank them for being in here at this time and listening. And just fill our hearts with love. And please, please help me, because this has been just so wearing, you know, so wearing. It's just dealing with a bunch of soulless, brainless idiots. And it's hard to fill my heart with love when I'm so irritated by their shit. And I have to admit that it irritates me a lot of times. But we thank you for sending your Son, our brother, Jesus Christ, to us to teach us how to fill our hearts with love and live the Word. We look forward to the day that the gates to the new garden open and we are able to escape this insane asylum of hate and evil. And bring them down. Bring them down. I'm sick of this. And we say these things with great gratitude and love in our hearts. In your Son, our brother's name, Jesus Christ. Amen. And so, Geo, go away. D Extreme, again, another anonymous point. The problem, they keep saying, prove your points, prove your points. But if I show shit, like the whole long list of YouTube videos, then they just say I'm a liar, and they do everything they can. So they have to focus on what I'm saying to discredit that specifically. Why would I give them the proof? You know? They want to stay in their own little bubbles, so they ignore the uncomfortable truth. Exactly. We are called to take a stand. We are not to be complicit or compliant with evil. We are to stand against it. That is what we are called to do. That's why I am here. That is why I have been here. Saying the same things over and over and over for decades. You know, wrote a book. Anybody that can help out, I'm selling these for $30. Tell me who I supposed to inscribe it to. Tell me where I'm supposed to send it. Because I'm desperate for cash right now. You know, it's been nominated for Book of the Year when I published it. You know, he seems kind of suspicious. Oh, DD. So you're going to just basically throw shade on me as an anonymous account. Never really say anything, just talking these generalities, just so that everybody can discredit me. You know? God gave us free will to think. But if you think that just doing whatever the fuck you want to do and not filling your hearts with love and living and all that shit, you were also told what fucking happens to you. Things haven't changed. You'll go right into the fucking dark, you know? God, heaven is only, oh, jeez Louise. Oh, thanks. Hey, my plants, again, $30, Venmo and PayPal is just my first initial D, my last name, Shurter. First initial, last name. If you don't want to book and you just want to donate, anything will help. Anything will help. It's the 11th and I have nothing. I have nothing. Thank God my bills are paid this month. Thank God someone helped me and I was able to get the stuff that I needed for my dogs. But, oh, okay. By the way, G said I wasn't being suspicious. Then I deleted her. I'll undo that then. I'm so sorry. I don't catch everything. I'll go in and undo it. I apologize. I get kind of rambunctious with this delete thing. Ah, darn it. And I don't know how to undo it while I'm on here. I will undo it, I hope. I don't know. Okay, that. Remove. Okay. I just figured out on here, sorry you guys had to watch me do that, DD is now unhidden. DD, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry. I didn't catch the stuff above. I didn't catch the stuff above. And I always try, that's what we're supposed to do. When we make mistakes, we're just supposed to apologize, make amends, and do better. Isn't that what we're called to do? That's what we're supposed to do. And I make mistakes all the time. My stepmom is suspicious. My mom was great. My actual mom, binge alcoholic. Terrible, the worst alcoholic I've ever seen. But, yes, welcome back, Dee Dee. Sorry. So I'm going to get off here. I have things to do. I have dogs at my feet who want my attention. And, again, sure, Dee Dee. And again, I apologize. I so apologize. Didn't mean to. There are decent people. There are decent people. And if I ever block any of you and it was, you feel that I was wrong, then just get a hold of me on email and say, hey, I wasn't coming at you, because it was two different people. The Gov guy was two different people. That the one that was doing all the weird crap wasn't Gov. They just came in as, they signed in with names, And so Gov has been on here for a while now. And Gov is actually a decent dude. And that's why he came on and said, someone's coming in at me. That wasn't me. That wasn't me. And at the beginning when I was there, I was just like, oh my God, Gov, are you on drugs or something? This is so unlike you. But I don't mind people who disagree with me. If you have a valid point and you want to disagree with me, then go ahead and disagree with me. But don't attack me. And don't use your disagreement to try and minimalize me and vilify me. I'm not dealing with that either, because that's their game. Not saying that you were doing that, D, but I'm just saying there are people who have come in and that'll get you blocked every time. But if you people who have legitimate questions, legitimate concerns, different points of opinion, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. Isn't that what we're supposed, that's how we learn. We don't learn from each other by our similarities. We learn from each other by our differences. That's what I've always thought. That's how I've always experienced it. And so, with that said, I'm going to get off here. And I hope this was an okay thing. I hope I wasn't angry the whole time. I hate those because I have to listen to this stuff. I try to listen to this. After I do them, I listen to them so I can see, if there's anything that I have to bring up in the next one. But when I'm all angry and stuff like that, it makes me stressed. And I hate that. And if I'm stressed out watching myself on this stuff, I can only imagine how the rest of you feel. I have a feeling that they all want to go out because they're all up here now. So it is time for me to get off here because, as you can see, the table that my phone is on is starting to have an earthquake. And that's because a butt with a tail that's wagging furiously is hitting this table. So with that said, have a really blessed day, guys. And for those of you who are outside of the country that aren't in America, please pray for us. I pray for you guys all the time, but please pray for us. We need your prayers. And the innocent people whose lives are being decimated in California definitely need prayers. And with that said, can we watch? I don't know what you're talking about. Do y'all stay on here for what do you want to watch? I mean, you can watch anything on my YouTube. I just keep it all. Humanity needs each other. We all need each other. And they have us so divided. D. I'm going to block you if you don't stop. No. Totally inappropriate. I'm just going to say. And besides, it would keep you up at night. Nobody wants to see me naked. That includes me. But trust me, no one wants to see me naked. And with that said, have a good day, guys.